Hello again and welcome to Steve's Long Stay Workshop. This is a set which we did one of these in here before actually when I started, but another one has come my way. Thank you very much to Jay's Vintage Junk giving me this. I spotted it in his house purely from the back actually, the holes on the back, and said, "Is that a Marconi?" He said, "Yeah, you can have it." So I've got it here. This one actually, I can tell straight away, has got problems. The two knobs are in here, as is the handle, which needs to be glued together. But this set also has another problem. These sets are meant to be battery mains, but this set doesn't appear to have had the mains cable removed, which is a good job actually, otherwise I'll plug it in, but even if I did with this set, I don't think I would get very far with it, so I'm not going to. What you do in this situation, by the way, is you get the set out and have a look and see what is going on, where things are going on, and also where things may not be going on, which is most important. So first thing you do is set like this, you get inside and have a look, and first of all I can see straight away that the air has been disconnected and the chassis is loose. So this set has been worked on before, therefore it will have to be worked on again, like now. Now, I unfortunately am the engineer that people pass into when they can't get them working. So this might be another one such set. Looking at it, there you see another knob just come off. That's disconnected. So what I'll do for now is I'll put that out of the way. That can go out of the way over there, on top of the other one that's at the same side, and we'll look at this set and we'll see what is where, what is not where, and what needs to be doing to it. First of all, that we can sort out. There are two wires off and off which are going to nowhere. There's a valve missing, which is X17. That's the EK91 in common valve language, as it were. These are Marconi numbers here. The other ones are R17, which is EF, is the F91. ZT17, which I think is the AF91, and N18, which is DL95. So we know straight away from that it's got which series of valves it's got as well. Also, I noticed that a capacitor has been changed in here at some point, quite recently, judging by it actually. I don't know what's where here, what is where. That's the switch. That's the they look like the connections for the batteries. Because this set is a battery main set, the valves, by the way, are in series rather than parallel, which means, by the way, that you can actually test them by going from deck to the N18, the first one on the chain, and see if there's continuity, and see if the valves are okay. There's one missing, but I can of course check what's left. The thing that does worry me here is the fact that that is disconnected. That is worrying. That is very worrying. That I don't know why it's disconnected, but it is. Also, okay, fair enough. Well, okay, well, I'll put that out of the way for now. After I've checked to make sure that the primary of the 8-port transformer is okay. At this stage, we're looking through to find anything which could bring this project to a halt in a hurry. Well, there, by the way, first of all, I find that the speaker is okay, and so is the 8-port transformer. So there's no problem there. Okay, so I'll put that out of the way somewhere. Like over there, and we'll look at this thing here. That's okay. That's okay. I noticed somebody here has put another resistor in at some point. The diode, I hope is okay. That cap is probably okay. I don't know, but it's there. That appears to be going out to the main plug-in speaker. Now, also with this set, I noticed that it does have a main transformer. It has resistors, which you see on the circuit, that's a circuit. If you're a bit closer there, yeah. You notice that it's not got a mains transformer. It's got resistors, so that's one thing in its favour. At this point, we're just looking and seeing basically on what's where and what's where and what is where. Well, that looks like the grid cap has been changed, so that is in our favour as well. That's okay. So next thing we'll do is G3 basic checks. Okay. Now with the mains plug set to mains rather than battery, because on this set the front here actually tells you which way it goes. So with this, we go one way for mains and one way for one way for battery. So I find the knob, which has the details written on the knob, and we'll find it which way it's meant to be going, and turn it in that direction. So that goes onto there, and it goes that way for mains and that way for battery. With it being a battery main set, generally speaking, they tend to be run on battery, so generally don't have the same problem that they do with battery only sets, of course, because of course it tends to be run on main. So that's now onto DC, and so now from there at Earth we should get something. Well, we should get something anyway on the HT line, and also we should get something. Right, so anyway, from there, the first place we'll look, and we'll see how much of the main side of it is actually doing anything or not doing anything, as the case may be. It goes from the switch here to here and here, and that. Okay, not okay. That's doing not very much. Hang on. Take the meter first. Okay. The meter's okay, fine. Now, therefore, we know that that to that is okay. So we know therefore the meter on this is okay. Next thing we'll do is check that the power side of it is doing okay, and it should go through that diode, of course, as well, and the capacitors to the switch. So if I was to take this and do that with it, like so, yeah, and put that onto there like that. I think I better put my glasses on, I think, for this, haven't I? Right, okay. Age, you see, it's age. It's a terrible thing, it really is. Now from there now, we should get something on the dials here. Well, we do. We get that side we've got 275k, and the other side we've got nothing that way. So if we swap the pins over here like that, we should get something there. and again we don't, I don't think. It says to me that this diode's rather past its best. Okay, no problem. We can put a diode and there's no problem there. Do a diode check to make sure. Stay on there, freak. Right, okay. Do a note. Take it back the other way. And that's just doing it. So that is obviously rather the worse for wear. So that is one of the mains leads, and the other one obviously goes to deck. Okay, now this other mains lead here, now I'll also quickly check these capacitors to deck because one of them might be short circuited, so we'll do that as well while we're at it. So we've got that goes to deck, to there, and it didn't do anything it shouldn't. That wasn't doing anything it shouldn't. Okay, fine. Okay. So that capacitor is okay. Next thing are these resistors here. One has been changed. These two, I think, are probably a bit troublesome as well. Also, another thing I'll do, by the way, with that at deck like that, the first valve to deck is the ZD17. So, and then of course it goes to the missing valve down here. So therefore, we should be able to find out from that whether the ZD is okay. If it is, that's one we don't have to change. But if not, then maybe we will. So okay, right. So that goes to there. It goes to there. Not that it's saying too good either. Okay. Well, if we're going to do it that way, then I'll replay all three of these valves, and checking we're not looking at needing a full set. If we are, I'll get them ordered. Again, there's no problem there. W17, of course, it's pins number 1 and 7. So at the bottom here, it's 1 and 7. So batteries up, so glasses on, and that goes on to there, and that goes on to there. That one's okay. So the DF is in more number, in which most of us use, is okay. So that one's okay. This one is the one I was a bit suspicious about when it comes out, like that. This is the one which I was a little bit just now. So that goes onto there like that, and again the same applies. nothing. That seems to be okay. Let's double check to make sure. Yes, that one's okay. Okay. Always test the heaters very, very quickly on these, because these valves are, shall we say, interesting when they go wrong. That's probably the best way to put it. Now on these sets, the DL on these takes 3 volts rather than 1.5, which is why the total voltage is 7.5 with them in series. It's going through 1 and 7, so again there, 1 and 7, centre tap on 5. So again, 1 and 7, and that looks okay as well. So yeah, so therefore I just check on 5 to make sure that that's okay. It should be. If it's not, then of course, basically depends which out. Basically, it won't light up. But if it's making continuity between 1 and 7, then you should be okay with that. So I'll put that one back in, and we know that those 3 valves are okay. We know the heater's okay on those 3. That one, I've got one coming, so we'll deal with that. And so now, of course, we go back to this here. Let's see. Now, when a wire, I don't know where it's going, what you do, take one end off, like that. Yeah. Put your meter probe on it, like that. And generally probe around and see what, and see where it's oh. So that too must be the other one for the mains. So that's easy enough. So those 2 there for the mains, and now of course the other thing we've got to find out is what is the heater supply on this valve. Right now, with the switch to middle, switch to mains, medium wave, yeah, we should get something from that diode to the main thing. Or the other side of it is R17. Now R17, look at the circuit. R17. It's the big one. It's the big one, R17, which is this one here. So so that one goes to there. Okay, fair enough. And so it's going from there. Not, they're better off putting it on there actually. Okay, so that goes on to there. These bidder pros, you see, they're called gazontas. Okay, they're called gazontas because they go onto things. Yeah, I know, bad one. But anyway, that now goes on to there, like that. Now from there now it should go to somewhere like there. Okay, or maybe on this side. Depends which one, which end that is actually. What's that? That's C23, isn't it? That one. So C23 is that one. Okay. So therefore, from there, we should have something on one of these 2 here. I hope. Because these, if they are what I think they are, it goes through the mains transformer. So this line is the one which has the problem. So although this set looks a mess and it's not yet ready to be plugged in, so far it looks fairly good. I just hope that that is well, I don't correct, I'll check that. This is the one cap, by the way, it needs to be replaced on every unit, so it's very important that this one is changed. Anyway, right, okay. Pin 7 down here, pin 7, pin 7, pin 7, pin 7, pin 7. Pin 7, which is the top one here, which is that one. Okay. Now the other end of that is there. This might be our problem here, because that obviously doesn't go through the that there should not go to the main transformer. The 8-put transformer. The 8-put transformer on this, by the way, goes to pin number 2 and 6. So that should go onto pin 6, which is that one. Okay, so it's okay. So yeah, oh, that's okay, fine. And so the next one, which is that one there, okay, which also goes to goes down here. So we'll put that onto there like that. We should from there get something that 3.5K here. Which we don't seem to do, so possibly there's a problem here. Okay, so that goes to there. Okay, now that goes to C6, resistor 16. Resistor 16 is another one of these here. So we'll come round here now and we'll find R16. One of these is R16, or should be at any rate, if it's still here. So that obviously, that should, if that is that is that one, yeah. So that's okay. So that then goes to R16. They did by that capacitor, which is in place and looks to be okay. I can check that, of course, but not just yet. By the way, these sets, they do have extra smoothing on the heater chain on these, so that's what that cap is there, so I'll check that as well. What else? Right, okay. EWF is there, and 16 or 17, so it should run okay. It should run up to the up to there, and it should from there up to there. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. Well, that goes on to there like that, and there should be something up here, which there is not. So there's something up on this side of it here. So from here it's not getting either to the switch or to R16. So again, look down here and see if one of these resistors is playing hooky with us, shall we? 6.2, that's not right. Okay, right, okay, so there's something there, so there's something with those resistors there as well. So next thing we'll look for, I noticed these are colour coded and okay, so so at the moment things don't look too bad for this set. It looks to be in a state, but in actual fact it's not. So this one we probably will get going quite quickly. Obviously somebody started on it and not get any further with it, and it's come off. That'll clean, then I'll put that on, and I'll probably put them into a tag strip and then out underneath there. So that's something else we need to do. But this is something which these rarely fail, actually. They rarely fail. So I'm a little lot surprised actually. But we'll again we'll see. I'll just see. No, nothing at all. Absolutely diddly square. Okay, well, I died for that, and look at these resistors here, which I think we will change. So they are the first thing to deal with on this. Hopefully, then actually they might get some noise out of it. Another thing we're checking, by the way, on sets of this type is whether there's continuity on the IF. Again, if there's not, then it's not the end of the world, because we can in most cases find something that will fit. But for now we just need to find out whether the problem here or not. Hopefully there isn't. Hopefully there's not. Okay, so that goes on to there. So therefore it should go on to there and go on to there, which it does. That side's okay. That's okay. That's okay, and that's okay too. For the IF to be faulty is something which does happen, but it's quite rare. The other half of it is simply coupling for a valve. So again, we can get round that one way or another. One thing we don't have in this country very much, unlike in America, is the problem with IF cans going faulty inside, quite the same. So hopefully we don't have that to deal with either. That's the worst thing that happens, it really is. That's okay. That's okay. So they're good as well. So on initial inspection, this appears to be good, and although it looks to be in a bad way, it isn't. I've looked at those two valves. The heaters on them are okay, so hopefully they'll work. That one, I've got one, but there's one on the way for it. Want a diode for here, and pull in a resistor as well. I'll probably put them across it actually here and leave this in place. It was a common trick back in the day, so won't be any problem there. If it does come back of its own accord, well, it won't make much difference because the new dad will, of course, conduct slightly more anyway. So the next thing before we say good night to this set for now is to go and check these resistors here. Now these resistors here, generally speaking, I think these will be okay. I know they don't look it, but I reckon these will be okay. Yeah, that one's okay. Next one down. Yeah, that one's okay. Turn the thing over, because we can with it being apart. Leave two others, which we also need to look at. These will probably also be okay. Well, one of them will, one of them won't. That neck pump that's okay, and this one okay as well. Wait for a minute, and sort that. Now have a look at this one, and that's okay as well. So those two are okay. So why there's nothing getting to the heater chain is something which is probably a wiring fault. So at this point we've got a radio which is doesn't have as much wrong with it as I first thought. Few caps to change, but the main one has already been changed. The two things with these things that we need to look at. First of all, with sets like this, the HT ground and the LC ground are not the same on batteries. There's a ratio of 120 volts or so, 20 ohms or so between the two. That is because these valves are directly heated rather than indirectly heated cathodes, which means that the heater and the cathode are the same thing. So you need, therefore, for a pentode to work, to have the grid held below 0 volts, which is what this does here. Without it, the output will be very, very distorted. So that capacitor there, C21, is very important. I'll show you a bit more of this in a minute. Of course, that capacitor will change, of course. And right, so I will now bring the camera in and have a quick look at the circuit. Right, well, here's the circuit, and here's what we're looking at. That diode there, metal rectifier, it appears to be open circuit. No problem, we'll change it. Those two resistors are okay, but we'll need another one because, of course, mum and dad will pass more voltage, so we need to change those, or change one of them up at any rate. Or put another one in. That switch is here. Now, because this set doesn't have a transformer, we can sort that out quite easily. The output transformer is there. We proved that's okay, and the speaker's okay. Now, like I said before, though these four valves are in series on this, so we need that valve for them to light up and for it to work in any way, shape or form. That's coming up. So basically, it's that there, and there's something between there, which is the first part of the heater chain, and there, which might be the main switch. I don't know, but we'll find out. These here work okay, and the caps appear to be okay. Now, as I said, with these sets, one thing that they do have is a problem on batteries with HT, and the fact that this valve is a pentode. Now, a pentode works by having the grid lower than the cathode. Now, on this one, it isn't too bad, but on most of them, this resistor here and this resistor here have to be checked, otherwise that will float, and that could result in distorted audio. So always check those two. That would change. That is the cap which must always change. That's the grid balance capacitor. Those are okay. So these resistors usually okay, but again I'll check them if need be. And that of course is the area which is of course on the lid, which is behind me in the case. That they rarely go wrong, but I will check to find out which way that would go onto that there, which I will put on the circuit board, pull it with the speaker holding. Also, the fact it was off meant that the screw is missing, but I'll find some stuff for that. So this set at the moment looks a very good candidate for restoration and repair. Hopefully, very soon, this one will be back to rude health, as it were, and this will probably make a good set. I do like these sets. My Uncle Edward had one when I was a kid. We used to pull it up in the loft somewhere. It stopped working when I was about 10 years old, and it went up there and it stayed, so I might bring that then too. This set also came under the HMV label, and I've not seen one, but it does come under HMV as well as Marconiphone, and of course they come in various colours as well. So for the moment, this set is looking to be okay, looking to be a good one. Right, well now I've actually found and sorted the little problem between pin 7 of the heater chain, the first pin of heater chain, and the on-off switch. Bit of solder, job done, so that's sorted now. There'll be other problems like that. Also what I've done, by the way, now is I've found out that these two green wires here are the ones that will be used to connect to mains. So that one and that one, that's these two here, will go to mains. Right, well with this now I've put the front panel back on with the speaker on, bolted it in place with the two bolts I could find, and also now I've put a mains lead and plug on as well, borrowed or something else obviously. Now I've done it with these. These are things which I found, which I'm trying out. They come in 4 sizes, and basically they put your wires in them and heat them up, and it after twisting them together, and it should pull them together, and also put it behind but insulated material as well, so it's something which does it all in one go. So I'm trying those. So now of course, with those in place, with the valves out, by the way, the valves are out because on these sets, the valves on these very sensitive, very ticklers, you know, so took them out for now, and so without any further ado, there we go, on the go. So that goes onto there, like that, and so now we should have something on. Let's just do like that. Can we get to see that? Can we get to see that? That'll do. Anyway, So now on one end of this diode we should have AC voltage, which we don't. It's there, and we do. We've got a low voltage, obviously, but it's there. Now the other side of it, we should have on it DC. Which we don't appear to. So further back down here now on the AC range, we might get something somewhere like there. We do. Okay, fine. And so from there now we should get something on one end of here. And we do. It's there. Not as high as it should be, I admit, but it's there anyway. So somewhere I wonder if something is shorting it like it shouldn't do, but for now that's there. Also, by the way, disconnect it and we'll just see what the resistances are. Okay. There we are, and the other end should go to there. So okay, fine. So we'll try that again, and we'll see what gives. So there should be something on DC there. Again, it doesn't seem to be. Well, that's good, isn't it? Right, well, the AC range, therefore, it should be somewhere. Go to AC and check on there. That appears to be okay. So one end of that diode should have on it the AC voltage, which it does, but it's low. Something getting very, very warm around there. So off we go and have a look what's going on around here. I notice those resistors are getting very toasty. I wonder if that is touching anything it shouldn't down there. That's very warm, that, isn't it? Okay, so there's something not right around here. Okay, we'll come to that. So something, although it looked okay with the power off, with the power on, there's obviously something going on here that shouldn't. And amazingly, the fuse didn't blow. So yeah, exactly. Something is not doing what it should, and instead doing something it shouldn't. Okay. Also, by the way, with this, this works okay. So solder these back on, and check down here. Now, as far as down here is concerned, we don't need all this lot now. We don't need it because everything is 240 volts now in Britain. So a lot of this we can do without. So what I might well do here is replace those with one resistor, about 400 ohms, 500 ohms, and put a new diode and a pot as well, so that the voltage is right. And then from there we could hopefully get the voltages right on the valves, which is important, and the HT as well. But with that not touching anything, it shouldn't now. Maybe we can try again. Maybe it was that. Maybe it's that. So we'll try again. Because there's nothing here that should really short it out, quite frankly. Unless the cap has gone short circuit, and it didn't do before, so we'll check and see. Oh, 235 now. Must be that. And 270 volts there. 270. I'll turn it round. There you are. And 270 volts there. If you can see that, the 270 volts DC there, and there should be AC somewhere like there, which there is. So now, of course, we go and look at the HT supplies on here, and they will be high because, of course, they're not loaded down. But there should be something on one of these pins here. That's not right. Is that one right? I think it's that one, yeah. So that one's right. And the valves, by the way, should also be high, because unfortunately, again, they're not loaded down. So chances are the valve heaters will be higher than they should be as well. Okay, so that's something. Okay, now that means therefore that it was that connected there, so I think that'll be okay, but I will check in to make sure later on. But for now, we need first of all to solder these two onto here. Doesn't matter which way around they go, because of course the transformer will go either way around, as long as you got the secondary and primary the right way around. And yes, I've done that. I admit it. I've done that myself. It will be okay. So that's the next thing we'll do. So that one goes onto there, like that, and this one is onto here, and you can see there the speaker is working as well. But the reason why it's crackling, by the way, is because the capacitors have some charge in them still, and some of it is finding its way to through the speaker, which is why that is doing that. So that now goes into there. Like so. Is that in? By the way, tonight I found out that in this area coronavirus is on the rise again. So that's something else to look forward to. Now, with those on there now, there should be something on both pins of this transformer. So should be something there, which there is. There should be something there, which there is. And there should be the same voltage down here, which there is. Right, so that's okay. While we're here, by the way, valve 3 has the EXT on pin number 2 and 3, and also on 4. So again, we go through and we should find 2 pins that have something on them. Please. Helps to get the right. Okay, 3 and 4667 volts. That might be a bit low, but we'll check that. Okay, so that's got to turn it well. Now valve 2, by the way, it should be on pin 2 and 3, which is here. So again, doesn't appear to be anything, does it? Pin 2. Get a valve. Let's get a valve. I sometimes need to do this. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, pin 2 it's this way around. Okay, so it's there and there. Okay, fine. Valve 1, of course, it goes on pin 2. This is one that we've not got, by the way. Valve 2. So again, I'll go through and see what's where and what isn't. Okay, 1, 2. Okay, yeah. So the HT is all apparently there. That's a good sign, by the way. That's a very good sign. Now the next thing we need to look at, I want to get as much of this done as possible before the other valve gets here, is get as much of this done as possible. That's been changed, okay, that's okay. So now we've got to look at the aerial. Now the aerial on this, by the way, is in the lid on these. It is, look at the circuit, which is a button there, you see. Now pins, there you see, pins 1 and 2, they are on the lid, and it's black, yellow and white. Now black goes to deck, yellow the middle one, and white goes very capacitor 2 to valve 1. Now the valves aren't there, but we can at this point have a little look and make sure the lid aerial is okay, which we'll do now. So get the meter and put it where you can see it, hopefully. I don't know, can you see that? Can you see that? Can you? Okay, yeah. So where I can see it as well. There we are. Can you see that? No, I'll check. And so from there now, we look at this down here. Now these wires go into the lid, and the aerial is in the lid. It's a round loop antenna, so generally they do go faulty, I admit, and they can be difficult, but all right. Well, there's nothing there at all, is there? Which means, therefore, that there's something wrong in this lid. That's the next thing we have to look at. So, if for now we put these 3 valves back in the unit, and put the unit out of the way for a minute, I can then look at the unit at the back there. This thing here. 1, 2, which goes in that way, like that, and that which goes in there. Goes into there, something like that. There we are. So that can go out the way for a minute. You can sit over there and think about its future. Right, well, first of all, with the lid off, we found the problem straight away. 1 off, 2 off, they go off here, and 2 of these broken off as well. I took this off completely at this point. This is the thing that goes from the lid to the set. And I'm going first of all to check every lead in turn to make sure that it is working. So first of all, go into that one, like that, and go on to that one, and that should read. It does. I'll put the bleep on there, yeah. So there it does. Middle one should be the same. It should be the same. There you are. And the third one again. There you go. So that's okay. That bit wise okay. Sometimes they're not, by the way. So always check. Now of course here there are 2 coils in this lid here. Now, mark 1 and 2 of course on the diagram there, which you've seen, and this one is okay, and it's switching to ohms. This one should read. So that is the smaller one there. That's the one. Now with 1 connected only, the set will get medium wave but not long wave. This is the long wave coil here, and both ends of this are off. So what we do now is see if we can get any continuity on these baby wires, which quite often they don't do, so you have to think about it. That one I think will, so that goes onto there like that. Okay, fine, that was okay. So now, so here therefore there should be about so many ohms, which doesn't appear to be. Oh dear, have we got a problem here as well? I think we might have. So this winding looks as though it might have a problem. So I have to go into this and find out precisely why it is reading open circuit all the time, which it appears to be doing. It looks to be okay. This end it appears not to. I just took the other way around just to be sure, but looks to me as though long wave coil is open circuit. So this set might only work on medium wave from now on. I don't know yet. I'll look at this coil in more detail, but I need to know what is what here with this. A coil of wire, I know, but if it's got something wrong with it, well, yeah, we've got something wrong with it. It could be anywhere in that coil, so we don't know. Honestly, don't know. But we'll find out, and we'll find out from there. By the way, you might have noticed on the back of here, by the way, took it off, but there's a on the back of here, like that. See, there's that. See, it goes like that. Yeah, see that? I'll move it where you can see it. Yeah, it goes like that. That actually is to prevent the set being closed off when the set is switched on either way. That is a safety feature, that, so that has to go back on at some point. It goes on there, which goes through, and of course that from underneath. So anyway, so far with this set we need the DK41 or other title X17, and we need that coil sorting it, and hopefully at that point this set might even work. We don't know. It might not. Welcome back, everybody. I've been away on my holidays, although you probably missed it because for you it was a simple second take, but I'm back without COVID-19 to add, and I've just quickly now sorted out the aerial here. This lead here, there's a break in the cable right near the edge, which I've now cleared. I will also put new wires on, and so now if that goes onto there like that, see, if that goes onto there like that, we should have, we do, and here too. There it is. So there, of course, that means that the aerial is now okay. I don't know which way around the long wave aerial goes on, but the difference would, if it is wrong, it matters as swapping the aerial leads over here, so or in the set. So now, of course, the aerial is now sorted. So now with that out of the way, we turn to the main set, and the main set is on its way back to rude health. So I'll put that back there for now, and the main set is here on the other side of the light, and it's here. Now the set itself, while I was away, I thought actually about it a little bit, and there seems to be something with these resistors here. So I've got new ones in my pocket. So next thing we do is look at check first of all that nothing's happened while I've been away. People do, you know, fairies come in here, you know, sometimes, and muck about with stuff. I think that's what's happening. That's what happens, you know. So that's okay. Okay, on this side now. Now goes. It should read to there or there, which it does. Okay, fine. So it goes. Then it goes down to here. So therefore, I think the best way forward now is to replace those two resistors there. Now, even though I was away on holidays, I can still order things off the internet. So I have done. And if you look at the circuit, which is here, this bit here, yeah, you see it there. That side of the circuit there is the power supply side. Now the diode on this is this pink thing which I may or may not replaced, and before it there's 3 resistors which are controlled by this thing on the back here. This is the voltage selector, because in the days when this set was made, it could be anything from 200 to 240 volts, 250 volts AC or DC mains in this country. So now of course that's not the case, and so what I do is I whip them out and put one resistor in, and of course I've got them here. So now I will whip out these two resistors, and well, I think the best thing to do with them, quite frankly, is put them in the bin. There's that one, you see. That one, put the glasses on, there we are. This one here, you see, is two resistors, and they've both gone rather open circuit, so they can leave us, and so can that, and keep. So that one can go out, and the next one, of course, is this one here, which goes to there, and then it goes to there. So now we've got to look and sort out which is that one. Okay, fine. So that one comes out, and it comes off there as well, like so. Get it out there. And so both of those have had a rough life, so I decided to replace them with one resistor, which goes in place of these two. Now, one of these is a surge limiter resistor, and the other two are variable voltage coming to the set, and they come to 370 ohms. Now these days, resistors come in preferred values, and so I've got more than one of them. So if anything goes wrong, I can put another one. There are these are 390s. And 390 and 340 and 390 and 370 is not really much of a problem. So a 90 goes from there to the mains lug, to the mains lead, and that will then do exactly the same thing, but hopefully without all the smoke everywhere. I hope, because you never know with radios. You never know 100% until you got the thing working. Believe me, but I've done enough radios in my time to know. And even now, you know, there's always something which is there to make you feel as though it's not a workable unit anymore, but it always is. And yeah, also the capacitor there as well, that's here, and so the capacitor there is also on the circuit before the dial, so it's there as well, so it's from here. So now that goes around there, and that goes across like that, and now my interesting soldering techniques mean that will go onto there. Interesting, by the way, because I've only got one hand, and it can be, shall we say, interesting, but I would do it in the end. That's why quite often I don't do things on camera. Because I swear a lot. A lot. You won't believe some of the stuff I come out with, but you know. There you are. Is that on? No, okay. By the way, I also tend to usually not solder to existing joints in the set, because those joints have been there for like 50, 60 years or more, and I don't. If I have to, I prefer not to risk upsetting the other components. So I take the existing wires out, and then I use existing wires of the component to solder the new component to, because that way we're not damaging any part of the set by getting it hot with the soldering iron. That's a tip for you, by the way. Also, by the way, with these diodes, they don't go short circuit apparently, and so but it was back in the day a improved repair technique to simply solder a replacement diode across the pins. They do it. I personally am not 100% happy with it, so normally I don't, but if I do, then I know that I always make sure that I can put I put protecting circuitry in like an extra diode, so that it doesn't shove FT through the set and blow all 4 valves up in one go. Which reminds me, these sets, the valves in these sets are so delicate that you have to be very careful with them. And these AC DC sets, the AC battery sets, you have to be very careful not to overrun the valves, because they won't last very long if you do. These 3, the heaters are okay. The 4th one is on order, but these the heaters are okay. Doesn't mean the valves are okay, but we know the heaters are. And also I noticed, apart from that one, they are in fact original Marconi valves. Anyway, I will now put this in place properly, and then we'll see what happens when I shove some volts up it. Not a lot, certainly no music, but I'll know if the voltages are in the right places and even the right levels as well. Right, now in the back of the radio here, I'll show you in a second, that resistor is in place. So those 3 resistors there, now get something to point with, that do. Those 3 resistors there and that is being replaced by 1 resistor now. That's okay, that's okay. The diode looks to be okay. I'm going to leave that for anyone to try. But with the first valve of the heater chain out of circuit, the voltages are higher than with it in. And if you look, there's a 1k resistor there as well. So there is some control over voltages there. But with sets like this, it's often worth putting in a diode in as well. Anyway, that's to come. Now here on the circuit, now we have the resistor there, which is on. Okay, it's getting rather hot as well, and it shouldn't be, but I don't know about that yet, but we'll see. And so now we should have 190 there, and I don't know what it would be here, but it's not, but there's 17 volts on the pin down here, which is there. So obviously there's some. If I take this far out, like so, now we have I'll just stand it up so you can see. We have 277 volt DC there. So obviously that resistor is obviously doing something, bringing it down. That resistor is hot actually. I'm rather worried as to why, but for now I'm going to leave it and see what happens. It shouldn't get that hot, but then again, it's further down under caps, so maybe the caps need changing as well. When I put the valve in, which I will do shortly, if the thing should spring to life and do something. If it doesn't, then I want to know precisely why, because that resistor shouldn't be getting that. That is very hot, that actually, and it's only there, so there's something somewhere not quite right. That one's up, that one's hot. They're all hot actually, so there might be something else. I don't know yet, but we'll see as we look further into the set. But with this sorted, so now with that out circuit, that should cool down, and hopefully it'll. I think that should be. Funny, isn't it? Oh well, these things are sent to trials, and believe me, trials is what they do. Right, now with the DL, that's the first valve in the teacher chain, which is that one there, out of the circuit. The resistors on the other side of the diode don't get hot. Put the DL in, and they do. And if you look here, you see, there's a 1K resistor going to deck there for the heater chain. There's one, I think it's somewhere like there for the heater chain, and the 470 there. Now the 470 there is circuit at the moment because, of course, I think depends which your end that is. Have a good look. Yeah. So it goes to that one, to that one, that one, see, to that one, to this one here, and so this lot, all these resistors are in circuit now, but there will be when the thing is up and running, which it can't do at the moment because I haven't got a replacement valve for it. But these resistors here, among other things, they help regulate the heater chain. That's that one there, that one there, and that one there. Okay, so those three in circuit, it should actually on a volume circuit, that circuit could then. This lot does actually get warm. These two cards actually are have had a rough life, so maybe it does, but I think it probably does, but we'll see when I, of course, put the valves in and give it a try, which I'll be doing tomorrow night, so stick around for that. I'll be with you for that in about a minute from now. You know something, with the radio, when you promise to have it working by a certain time, sometimes it doesn't work out that way, and this is one case in question. What I've done tonight, by the way, is I've put a diode, a Zener diode, to deck on the heater chain, like I said, and it's pulling off switch, and it's here on the circuit, so it goes from there to deck, and that keeps the valve supply regulated at 7.5 volts, which is saves them getting blown up at the set. Has a problem. It's actually here in the set, and that there is the one that does it. You see, so here behind this resistor, there's a diode which was not in the original circuit, but is there now, just for there. See, and that is there now purely to protect the valves from any surges that might occur. So now, of course, the only thing with this set, and I'm a bit perplexed by it, is that the capacitor on this circuit that is not apparently on the set, and there's nowhere for it to go either. Maybe it was left out at some sets, I don't know. And what I'm going to do here, I'm going to look at another version of the circuit and see if it's on there as well. If it's not, then I might leave it off, but otherwise I will fit it, because it goes on the valve heater supply. Now the valve heater supply on these sets has to be smooth almost completely, because of course this is a battery main set, basically with battery valves in, and they're expecting 1.5 volt DC each. This is 1.5 because they're in series, and the DL84, that's the 8-port valve in these sets, takes double the voltage. So it's in a way it's 4 valves, which is 6 volts, but one of them takes extra 1.5, so 7.5 volts. I'll put 7.5 volt Zener in, so voltage cannot go above that. So I'm going to look and find out where I can put this other capacitor, and then when that is done, I can put the aerial on and put the new valve in without any risk of it going up on me, which of course they do tend to do. Basically with these sets, it's a problem that they get with, because the heaters on these valves are so delicate, like I said before. Right, well, go any further, I'll just explain to you in detail why the diode has gone in and what it does. This is the circuit the valve heaters see in effect. I've left the capacitors to deck and all that, but this is what happens. Here, 260 volts or so from the to the output of the diode, that's DC, yeah? Resistors, of course, which have been replaced and checked, they're okay. So step that down to 7.5 volts or so when all the valves are together. Now, as I said before, these valves are, shall we say, a little bit sensitive to being handled rather badly. And one thing which they do not like is given incorrect heater voltage too high, they'll fail like that. And so what I've done here is I've fitted a 7.5 Zen diode here before the valve heaters. And what that does, it limits the voltage here 7.5 volts. So there can't be anything higher than 7.5 volts hitting these valves here. And 7.5 is what the set asks for. So basically that diode there is a safety component that I've added for the sake of the valves, that's all. A Zener diode, what it does, forward bias, it's fine. Like all the diodes, of course, all diodes, of course, with the rectifiers or bridges or kind of rectifier there, or detector diodes or whatever, they all work in the same way. DC can go the one way but not the other. Now also, if you reverse bias a diode, of course, it won't let anything pass until the diode breaks down, which we will do at some point. That's why always have a diode in the circuit that can handle reverse currents of at least twice what goes forward, because you never know what can happen, and you don't want the diode holding while other things are failing. So always make sure that diode is okay. Also, by the way, it's worth putting on this end is putting a resistor in as well, because if the diode is okay, the capacitors fail, then of course everything goes to deck anyway. So nothing but it valve. But if something goes wrong, if the diode is connected the wrong way around, like this, anode and cathode, you see, that voltage cannot exceed 7.5 volts is 7.5 Zener. So that diode cannot allow more than 7.5 through there. And so it's a safety component. That's basically what they do, because as I said, these valves are very delicate. Also, by the way, with this, the capacitor missing from the circuit, which is never put back in, is differently, because the newer component is a lot smaller, but it's there on the base of the valve concerned. Now also, before I put this back together, I will also check the output transformer and the heater as well. This is, of course, is very easy to do. Put your meter on a low range or continuous or something, and simply do that. And as you can see there, what's happening there, the transformer primary is passing current through, as you can see on the meter. Up there, can you see that? Don't think you can you? Hang on. There we are. That should do it. Right. Now, that means therefore that is passing. And also, if you listen, you hear the speaker as well. So the speaker is working, doing something, because of course we can hear it. So straight away we know that that is okay. Now at this point, therefore, we think about putting this set together again, which is another interesting job, because I've got to put everything together in such a way as to not result in any problems with the set together. A radio set apart and a radio set together are, in many cases, two completely different beasts. Same with anything. Because it works when it's apart doesn't mean that things are going to be fine when it's together, because in some cases, well, they're not, and this is one case in question. So now with it together, again, I'll do the same check here, just for continuity's sake. So that now goes back onto there, that now goes back onto there. Oh, okay. Now these two wires, they go to the transformer. These on the circuit here, the input transformer. See if I can show it to you again. It goes, it's there. My finger is pointing to the output valve, and above it is the input transformer. It goes to the cathode. So therefore, the mains voltage, the 8T for this set, it's about 90 volts on this, by the way, goes through this transformer. Without it, by the way, that valve, a pentode, will act as a triode, and I've seen it many times when the valve will do interesting things about interesting colours. Very nice, but not what we want. Right, well at this point I've got the set back in the case, and I've got the output transformer fitted again, and I've got the aerial ready to be connected as well. But at this point, with any radio, especially ones that somebody's played with before me, because with vintage sets, you simply don't know. The thing we do more than anything is check and check and check again. When I was putting it back together, there was actually a shorter period between the dial and earth. On the circuit, it's before the two resistors that go to each chain, and there was nothing. I don't know where it could come from, so I took the set apart again. I found a spridge of something metal underneath the chassis, cleared it away, and that cleared it. So now that's okay. There is about 4K actually. That's because of the resistance on the heater chain as well, everything else. So that is okay. I'll check with the circuit. Yeah. Now the other half of that is there, and from there it should go to deck. No, it should go to the live on the plug. So if that goes on live like that, here, there should be about something which is not. So something else up there, I don't know what, but something else has happened here. So well, I don't know basically. It's not there either. So possibly the turn off switch down here. Now the other one is deck, of course, which is here. Let's check on the plug, make sure that's right. Glasses, kind of getting old, you see. And neutral should go more or less to deck, which it does. So now when the radio is faulty on the live side, there's not this is shorted to deck, which it isn't. It isn't anything to worry about as long as you don't power the set. Never power a set until you are happy that it is suitable to be powered. Again, always checking. Ah, see, there we are, the wire off. Right, okay. So now we go back to the drawing board, find out where that's come from. I think I know actually. And back on it'll go. Always check. Well, I'm here, by the way. The even now, just to check, the transformer and the heat and the heaters are okay. And also, with the valve that's missing, one way around it should go to deck by one valve, which it does, and the other way around it should go to there on the diode, and it should be something like 3.6, which it does, so that's okay. So the valve chain, as far as I can tell, is okay. The heaters are okay. The aerial connections are okay. The 18, well, no, it's just no, go sort this out. I might actually just go straight onto there actually with it, because it could and leave out the voltage sector completely. But then at that point, we are almost ready to put that valve in and try it and see what it does. Now at that point, we're going to again PAIR and check all the way. Right. Well, I've put that wire back on, and I've repositioned the resistor down there. And so now, again, check and check again. If somebody tells you not to bother checking, don't believe them. Check and check until you are satisfied everything is okay. So now, plug into there, and so now 280 ohms, so that's okay. Right, okay. Now, that goes to deck, and it should go to there. Okay, fine, so that's okay. Right, now from here, that's okay too. Okay, so that is as good as sorted. Also, check speaker again, and that's okay, and the valves have not touched. So now we are as ready as we can be for the extra valve to go in. So I'll get it, and I'll see you in a minute. Not come yet, but I'll plug up one somewhere, so it will go in, then we'll see what happens. The valve, by the way, is a frequency changer. It's a DK91. With it in, power up and see what, if anything, happens. You know something? I've looked round and I've finally got one of these valves. They've got one on order from on eBay. And yesterday on the email I got the thing saying, do you like your new valve, you know, they get from eBay. So that's come, but the valve hasn't, so there's going to be some things said about that. But the thing is that, I don't know if it's just me, but coronavirus seems to be used by some people as an excuse not to do things, not to work, not to do. I mean, for example, all it involves is going to a post box and sticking an envelope. It's got my money. What's the problem? Where is it? I have the postal service managed to lose it. But anyway, I've got one here. So I'll put this this valve into this radio. So away it goes. Bit difficult one, I know, but we always manage in the end. And hopefully from there we might even get some speech out of this. Probably about coronavirus, you know, but there you are. It seems to be the bit thing that does seem to happen in the world right now. By the way, have you heard of Agenda 21? Agenda 21 is something which the UN are keeping covered up, and if the conspiracy theorists are to be believed, and I must admit, I'm more and more inclined to believe these people because, you know, because, well, I don't trust government anyway. What's happening with this coronavirus, all the laws that are going in, will not be repealed because governments like control, and this is a great way to get it. It really is. Yeah, I know people say say this and that, but at the end of the day, the law is the law, and unfortunately, in this country now, it's one law for them and one law for us. For example, if we want to keep the country into lockdown, then why were certain people, who I shall not name, very, very carefully not taken to court and punished for breaking lockdown rules? Yeah, we all are, but certain people aren't. Right, in.
University places as young people from Scotland, and if young people from Scotland are going to be allowed that great inflation and income.
Well, as you can hear from there, there's something on medium wave. I can't do a long wave yet because, of course, this is only done with a piece of wire attached to the output of the input of the DK91. The valves are obviously working okay. But now, of course, we've got to look at checking the alignment. Now, on these sets, I'll just take that off a minute so I can speak. The trimming actually is interesting because most sets of this era tend to use 455 megahertz or thereabouts. This one, it's 363 and 367. Now, it might have been much about with, I don't know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch it to 363 and thereabouts, and see what it has to say for itself. So now we put the IF into the valve socket, into the valve via the output, which is somewhere like here, like that. And we might even, if we're lucky, get it out. So there you are, that's on full right now. It's on full. So we'll plug it in now and see.
There is no way for us to.
Now when you're looking for an IF on a radio, always look where it should be before looking anywhere else. And also make sure that both ends of the signal generator are connected properly, which I've not here. And this is around about 3 cm, which will do. Now we want to check, by the way, if you move the tuning knob around and it stays like that, then obviously it's at the IF. Anything else comes in at RF. That's how to tell. So there you are. For example, if we put this up like that, and go there, that comes and goes, as you can hear. But this lead one here, it doesn't. Now I'm going to take a leap of faith there and say that the IF is okay on this, because I don't muck about with things unless I have to. So if we then put the aerial back on, but it's not the aerial that it's meant to have on. This is just for testing. we should now be able to get it.
To think, one-off, neutral venue, Champions League, could it be the way forward?
Well, it's very exciting. I mean, obviously this is an unprecedented situation that the UEFA have been forced into this to try and kind of squeeze.
These beds online showroom you can search and compare every car in stock today. Why not start with all the cars and space for the kids?
So now we know that the set is actually working. So now, what I'm going to do now is get the aerial ready and connect the aerial to the set, and we'll try it again with the aerial connected. With the aerial connected, of course, we just the trimmers, and the set is then complete. So we'll go and get the aerial in the case, which is now finished. By the way, I had to do something while I was waiting to see if the valve was going to come. And on these sets, as I said previously, it goes into the lid like so. So those two wires, which I've changed by the way, go onto these here. So with the thing nicely disconnected from the mains again, we now connect these up the rope one way or the other. Now one of these is middle, and one of those is one end and one of them is the other. So we need to check and see what is what here before we go any further. If we get them wrong, of course, we might get something, but we won't get obviously what we should be getting. So now we just connect that to there and get the other meter lead, where it's gone. It's here, right, and this then goes to the other ones here. Now one of them and that one. So if you go up to the first meter reading like that, you see. Okay, so the purple one goes to the white here. The orange goes to the red here, and the yellow goes to the black. Yeah, no, it is at the same colour, so that's the way it goes. So then we put them on and we try it again. Right, well, to prove that a radio works okay before tuning it up properly, I like to put this back in the case and see what happens. And I put this one back in the case, and it's pretty much fine.
Management of you, I mean, you can sort of...
That's BBC Radio 5 like that. I'm going to put it down.
So you're rating them against, are you judging them against Ronaldo?
Talk Radio. A boss of the band, of course. This is what the station I use for testing with. Going on to long wave. There's Radio 4. And so, I'm going to say this set is... it's back into ruined health, as it were. So another one back to be back in use and can be used again. This one, by the way, came from jail. Just like I said, I found it tonight off under it came to Jay's in a bit of a state, but I've got it working now, and I've made a few modifications to it inside, as you know, and it works quite well. They're quite good sets, these, I must say, these Marconiphone DABs, T24DABs. They're not DAB, but somebody somewhere, obviously, must have seen the future somehow. So there you are. It's a Marconiphone T24DAB that works and works quite, again, very well. So so now it's a simple matter of giving it a quick clean. And then of course we're back to square one with it, as it were. So there you are. Anyway, until next time, good luck, and as always, keep fixing radios. Bye bye.